If I got blue, and blue signifies heavy buying or heavier buying than selling, and it's occurring above a Bollinger Band, I'm going to take that trade. Certain times a day, I'm going to take that trade. What made it more significant was this gold bar. That gold bar is nothing more than, on the chart you're looking at, everything that's on that chart, that was the single highest sell volume. Doesn't have to be up, doesn't have to be down, but it was the single highest sell volume. Top of the Bollinger Band, middle, lower, VPOC. I don't like this VPOC. Even though this did this run up here, VPOC didn't move higher, which means the concentration of selling is still lower than where it's trading. I don't have much confidence in this market right here. And that's going to be further exacerbated by another screen I show you after. But, hey, I can use my software. I can pick a top. And I got it. And sure enough, it went back down to the VWAP. Thank you very much. I'll take that trade there. I'm done. Just so happened that the news about China came out after. You can't predict that. But a trade off of the top of the Bollinger Band, anytime it retraces to a VWAP, don't be greedy. Take your profit, especially if you're day trading. So here we are now. We're retracing back. Other features, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've put together on this screen. Up top, got real-time hours. Underneath, extended trade hours. We've got the previous day. We've got averages for 10 days. We've got the volumes. It's nice if you're looking a little bit more longer term, but like everybody else, we're trying to put information on this with assistance. Where Neil's essentially let me do my thing was with respect to these color-coded, and intra-column, intra-bar color coding. So let's start here. Blue means buy. Can't see it that well, but a darker gray, or even if it gets to be red, means sell. Across the bottom are the summation bars. Oops, sorry about that. Fat fingers. Are the summation bars for the various quote-unquote columns, channels. Red, sell. White, buy. 3 reds in a row. Let me watch that. The delta for the day just turned negative. Let's jump over here. Why did that happen? Well, I've got this little green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot. The green, high volume node. The red, low volume node. Remember this. Water flows from a high point to a low point. My lowest low volume node is right here. Down below the VPOC. Above the VWAP. But that's a really tiny area. It's a really tiny amount of trading for everything that goes on during a given day. I expect this to track back to this area. Can't tell you I had anything here that would have shown me, hey, sell, get out. I did here. I got a nice bright blue. That's a reason to get out. In other words, the buyers are running in. They're going to trapped. They're going to get trapped. They got trapped up here a little bit, but nothing significant that I would have reacted to. When this came out, this was the high. Big blue, red underneath, blue below it. It was going to retrace past the red to the blue. It held there for a little bit. Sorry about that again. Machine reacts to my every touch. it was going to come back and test this red and go to the blue. It tested the blue and went back down before to where this low volume area was. Chances are it's going to do it again. We give you today, and if you're able to see it carefully, this little white outline, that's overnight. That's what took place in the electronic or extended trading hours. That was Friday. This is the last 5 days. You know, it depends. You can set those up any way you want. That's worked for me. It's given me a basis of what's it done in the last 5 days. Similar to what I get when I look at a longer chart, 30-day chart. Now, this 30-day chart is going to be enlarged to be much longer because I use other services. When I work on Thursday nights, I take a look at probably 20 years of data when I'm looking at commodities. I've recently been a buyer of coffee. I've recently been a buyer of natural gas. I like to buy things when they're closer to their all-time lows or sell things when they're closer to their all-time highs. It's one of the reasons that soybeans has been one of the best traders I've had in the last 7-8 months. But narrowing it more down, the way this flock trades, you're going to be more interested in our market delta, our delta print. What else can I show you off of this chart? Oh, you see the gold bar. The gold bar is for all of the columns. But you wonder, what's happened with that gold bar? What if, can I move it forward? What happens if I get rid of it on the chart? Oh, look at that. It moved. It moved down. You know something? If I had been watching this and moving it, that would have been a buy entry. When I catch you one-on-one, I'll explain better. Too tough to do this quick. Move it over a little more. Ah, damn, I wish I'd been watching it. It moved back up. That's a sell. I can't teach everything in 30 minutes to an hour. I've had a couple people contact me. Interested in the Saturday session, interested in the Sunday session. Well, it's not always easy to put multiple people together at one time. So we're a little tough on ourselves. You need me one-on-one to get to know, to learn what we're doing. Send me an email. We'll find the time. We'll get you started. Then the next time when there's a group session or whatever we're doing, you have the ability to sit back and ask quote-unquote educated questions. We like educated questions. This is not something that I have the ability, or quite frankly, anybody has the ability to teach somebody who's just getting started. Quite frankly, the way I trade, the way I use the systems and the software that we have, I'm better off with somebody who's retired or somebody who's close to retirement that understands the way things were. I talked with old boss George Ball from EF Hutton, and we were laughing the other day. We're getting ready to plan a reunion of our 40th anniversary of victory in Paris, which was unbelievable. And we laughed. At that time, we had Newton Zimmer, one of the best technicians out there, and Ed Yardini, good macro man. And all we said, all we understood was nothing's changed. We had this information years ago, but we couldn't present it this way. We had everything that I'm using today. We used to use point and figure charts. Sometimes those point and figure charts started to get fat at certain areas because that's where the bulk of the trading was going on. Well, that's all we're doing here with footprint and order flow. We're showing you the density of the trades at a given area. And then we're showing you whether it was positive or negative. Then we're showing you down below whether the entire column was positive or negative and what the overall direction is. Yeah, we got a fancy algorithm in here. It ain't that fancy. It just says this was the spot. This was the cell, C-E-L-L, where the greatest amount of trading occurred on the whole page. Got a bunch of blue here. Got a bunch of blue overhead. If I've been watching this for blue, and then the orange bar had appeared, the gold bar had appeared. Boom, I'm a seller. I'm not looking at any individual trades. You don't see me taking a look at the DOM. You don't see me taking a look at spoofing where orders are placed and pulled out. It's all taken care of right here based upon actual trades. One of the keys that Niels is tremendous with is the accuracy of the information. I remember a 2-week period when he wasn't willing to put out a new product because the first or second trade of the next column wasn't in line with the prior column. He fixed it. So what we're looking at here is reporting actual trades, trying to color code them, blue for up, red for down, gray for in between, white for in between. But it's interesting. If I'm in a trade and I'm watching something at a given area, I start watching the colors within this area. Is pink going to turn to blue, or is blue going to turn to pink? If pink turns to blue, it's moving higher. If blue turns to pink, it's moving lower. Once again, symbols, patterns, take 2-3 months and test it out, but understand what you're testing and what you're looking for. We're trying to make things visually acceptable and decision-making and orientation so that all you have to do is look at a color, look at a band, look at a bar, and make a decision. That's all that's going on here. But earlier, when the market ran back up, I took a look at my favorite trade, which I'm waiting to buy. And that's ZN. Come back to that in a sec. Let's go to this one first. All right, now those of you that I bored to hell before, I'm long. I'm long at 131.16, not 131 and 30 seconds. It was trading here when we were talking. And I said, nah, I'm going to wait till it comes back to this low volume area. Well, son of a gun, look what it did. It went back to the low volume area. And I got filled. Hey, I'm up a tick. I'll take it. But that downside occurred at the same time as the upside occurred with respect to the ES. That's not something that always happened. It just so happened in this case. So I got filled on ZN. Right there. I'm watching it. I like the ZN trade. ZN trade has got a good half. I just had a text come in. Hang on one second. All right, ZN trade. If anybody doesn't think interest rates are coming down, I've got a beautiful bridge for you to buy in Brooklyn, or some land on the eastern seaboard. It's only underwater half the day. Interest rates are coming down. You get an ability, and here's another. Okay, I'm below the Bollinger Band. I got to buy that. So I had reason, but my primary reason and decision in choosing a point of entry. Hang on, come on, machine, be nice. My primary point of decision came from a 30-day chart where I'm just looking at where the low volume nodes are. It works. They do retrace. Water flows from high to low. Somebody will say, well, why didn't it go higher? Well, at that point up here, you're talking about a 1.40 interest rate. And we're sitting at 1.75 right now. So that's a little presumptuous. So it overshot its bound a little bit. Right here, you're looking at a 1.5. That's fair. That's where it should be. But it's going to 1. It take 6 months, but it's going there. I like trading this. I like direction. I like when the macroeconomic side of the world is saying, this is more than likely what's going to happen. Look at the chart, pick your entries, go from there. So I'm entered. I'm in it. I'll start watching. When I talked about watching blue change to red and red change to blue and all that, I do that extensively in trading ZN. I do it more extensively in trading ZN at night, in the electronic hours or the extended hours, whatever it may be. Because during that period, I can actually watch the colors change. During the day, during the real trading day, nah, not as much. Now, my other part of my trading style, that some people that don't understand how people that used to manage tens of millions of dollars in certain accounts trade. I got my entry point. What if it goes against you? With the conviction that I have with the ZN and the interest rate markets, I double down. Let's assume I started with 1 contract. If it goes down a certain amount, I'll add 2 more. If it goes down another certain amount more, I'll add 3 more. In other words, I'll double up. It works really well in roulette. If you're in Monte Carlo and there's no table limit, you'll never lose. You lose, you double up. You lose, you double up. You'll eventually win. That's covering 22 squares with 5 bets. We'll do that in another session. Same thing here. So my conviction is interest rates are going down. I got a gift today as far as I'm concerned. I'm in at 131.16. It goes to 131, I'm going to double down. It goes to 130.5, I'm going to triple. I'm going to have 6. I've had hundreds of contracts out there at times when it goes against you 7, 8 times. But when those things turn and go back to where they should be, or where the trend should have been, or where the direction of the economy should have taken it, the rewards are huge. Most people can't hold that kind of a position. We can. So we're trading here. Got a little bit of buying here. Be nice to see that happen. That was prior a slightly reddish. Now we're getting some buying coming in. 131.17. Right where I said it should be. Another email. It's not easy jumping on here. I still have a life otherwise. One of the things I was very thrilled about, I posted my email before. I mean, what time frame is the blue market profile that you had just shown? 30 days. I'm a novice at this. I went to Carnegie Tech when I was 8 years old. They took me out of elementary school and they taught us how to program computers when the computer was bigger than the room you're sitting in. Hang on. Cat has been remarkably quiet today. That's not usual. Leo is a talker. I appreciate the respect he's giving me. He's a hell of a cat. He's a good picker. He's a good trade picker, too. Anyhow, I posted this before. I had a couple people contact me. Not easy to put together the Saturdays and the Sundays and all that kind of stuff. Well, look, we care that people learn how to be better traders. We care that people like our system, and very appreciative of the opportunity to be on here and have fun with you today. And thank you very much, Danny and Marlon. But we realize that people can't always make a Saturday or Sunday, and groups don't always work. Got a couple people set up to do one-on-one sessions. We use TeamViewer, or we use primarily TeamViewer. And what I normally do is I log into your computer, and I allow you to log into my screen. So that my screen is running. I'm better able to teach off of my screen than your screen. Some of the sessions take 30 minutes, an hour. People get bored with me. I've had some sessions, some overnight sessions with a couple people in Indonesia and Australia that have gone 3-4 hours at the opening of their markets and things of that nature. So we're here. The only way that we're going be able to teach you is if we're able to spend time with you. I can't tell you I always have time. I can tell you that Niels seldom has time. He's working at the Amsterdam Exchange, trader, and he's the boy sitting back with the multiple programmers that we have putting the system together. So he'll teach you book flow. I'll teach you market profile and Delta print, and we'll both teach you zone decoder when it's out in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, the old story is software. When's it going to be done? Oh, next week. Yeah, right. It just doesn't happen. One of the reasons for that is Neil's a perfectionist, and he's never going to put out a product that he wouldn't use himself. Understand, Niels wrote this so he could be a better trader for himself. It just ended up being something that other people wanted to learn and use. So, hey, we'll do the best we can. But use your email. Get back and forth with me. I will find the time, and we will do our best to show you what we do. Buy it from us? Hey, we'd be thrilled. So would Danny and Marlon. But we want to make sure that what we're providing is something that is useful to you, is something that you can learn how to use. I've seen far too many times when people just buy the next latest thing out there, and 2 weeks later they're bored. They go buy something else or whatever, and then their better half, their partner, spouse, or whatever says, "You ever going to make any money doing this?" Oh yeah, as soon as I quit buying all the software, I'd probably be pretty good. We're not expensive. We do things logically. You got a problem, we answer the question. You got an improvement, we say thank you. If it's something that'll improve everything, we're going to get it into the platform. We're going to get it into the system. That's where a lot of this stuff has come from, especially between myself and Niels. So we're sitting here right now. We're still sitting big blue. Not much going on. I don't expect the New York Fed to have to come in to bail out the market today to make sure that the bank repos can be done. So my guess is we're pretty much going to settle in and around here. Let's get back to ES for a sec. Actually, wait, I got that on there. Yeah, let's go back to ES for a sec. La, da, da, da. This one always takes longer to load because there's more stuff in it. If this had come down, remember I said before, it's going to retrace back down to this low volume node? Son of the gun, it did. Didn't get there, though. A little bit of a bite up. You got some sell territory here. All things considered, I'd still be sitting on my hands. I would look for a buy in and around the VWAP, below the Bollinger Band. Nice and gray. Got a lot of sellers here. You know the masses. The masses are usually wrong. This is a guy who probably bought here thinking it was going to the moon. And he got scared out thinking it was going to zero. Nothing goes to the moon. Nothing goes to zero. Take advantage when people become excited. You had the blues up here. You had the buyers up here. Once they entered, it's done nothing but go down. Now, in conjunction with today's low volume zone or low volume node, got the same thing from last week, last Friday. I'm sitting on my hands, and I'm going to wait for this to be an entry point. If it gets down here, I'll evaluate it. Are too many of these blues turning to pink? If that's the case, I'm going to keep sitting on my hands. Right? It's not easy. It's just, how can I best say? I'm trying to keep it simple, stupid. I'm going to give you colors. I'm going to give you lines. And I'm going to hopefully give you enough interest to do this so that you try it. All right, we'll give you trials till you're blue in the face. But the most important thing is if you try it and you like it, the next thing is to pick up the phone and call me or send me an email and say, hey, you got some time? I got some questions. Yeah, I got time. We'll figure it out. At the age of 65, it's nice to be able to give back information and what I've learned in life, and hopefully it'll be beneficial to people that, you know, can appreciate it. I always used to joke, everybody and their brother in 2008, anybody that bought was a hero. For the next 10 years, they didn't have to do anything. Then all of a sudden, they had to do something. And they didn't know how. Because everything they did before was right. They just bought. And it went higher. If it went lower for a little bit, then it just came back. And trust me, those days are over. But then again, you didn't have to work in 1980 and 1981 when interest rates in the U.S. hit 16%. I bought 30-year Treasury notes at $570 a bond in May of 81. In August of 81, I sold them at 80. 2% margin. My clients made a fortune. But I didn't do anything until I saw that certain other bonds, municipals, zeros, and strips had started to turn ahead of the U.S., ahead of the treasuries. I got long. I got lucky. Nobody expects that dramatic of a move. We've had the same thing here macroeconomically for the last 10 years. Interest rates shouldn't be this low in a quote-unquote normal operating environment. They are. So deal with what you have. An interest rate move from 2% to 3% was devastating. Oh, it only went to 3%. No, it increased 50% from where it was prior. That affects currencies. We wrote software for a bunch of guys at the Merc in 02. Hi, Leo. At 0203. How are you? It's long-term currency trading software. It was great until interest rates went to zero. When you took the interest rate factor out of it and it went to zero and there's no more deviation, you couldn't use it to program what I wanted to do. That variable went away. With that, it went away. Forget it. It's back. It's only 2%, 3%, 1%, 3%, whatever. But there's enough deviation between the ups and the downs to make it viable again. That's one of the reasons I trade currencies the way I do. It's one of the reasons I'm looking to go long the euro. All right, this thing came back down a little bit, getting closer. This sell area is proving to be solid. If you're looking to go long, I wouldn't go long until it came back through the VPOC and got out of this area. It's going to be easier for it to move up through the blue area for where it was buyer-oriented before. But for right now, we're stuck. Red rules. And if this red rules and it comes back down into this area, once I said, low volume nodes, I'm going to be looking. Excuse my French. Like hell I'll be looking. I'm not touching ES. All right? I bless you guys. I wish you the best. This is not a commodity I would be trading today. Let's go to one that I might be trading today. You'll figure it out. I love soybeans. And if you want to talk about a commodity that just listens to every one of my rules, I got blue above, I got gold, sell. I didn't get down to the Bollinger Band, but I'm below the VPOC and I got gray, maybe buy it back. If I had sold here, knowing me and the way I trade, I'd still be short because I have no reason. Nobody has given me a reason to change what I'm looking at. Nothing has really changed within this band. But you'll get days when you get a ZS trade that spikes up 3-4 points above and then immediately turns back around and spikes 2-3 points below. If you're looking for a commodity to start to work with outside of ES, take a look at soybeans. Don't trade natural gas. It is the widowmaker. Don't trade coffee. It's not as easy to do. Start with ZS. It's a good one to kick yourself out of. ZN and ZS would be the two that are going to start to look at other commodities versus ES. Those are the ones to start with. And let me do my thing that I did here. I got a gold bar up here. Let me move this thing so the gold bar moves. Let's see where it moves to. Not Not much. It moved to here. If I bring that back, that's really not enough. It's not enough to really teach anything out of, other than the fact that I like to sell above and buy below. All right. I don't want that one. Hang on. Hopefully this will prove me right. Yeah, it's proved me right. Went down, didn't it? I don't have those fancy DOMs out there, guys. I don't have the dots. I don't have anything. All I got is these little colors. That proved to be resistance. Thank you very much. VPOC, red color. Low volume node, low volume node. Where's the next low volume node? It's here. I'm still sitting on my hands. I don't believe that the ES has the ability to go higher. I could be wrong. But for me, I'm going to wait. Get back down to the quote unquote kind of low of the day. It was lower in a real quick downdraft. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna step aside and wait on this one. All right. What else can I show you before I really got to go take care of something? Okay. That's a big number. That's a number that had been positive all day until now. Now the delta for the day is minus 10,000. The delta for the bar is minus 10,000. Nothing turns on a dime. It's going lower. Right? Is that right? Are you sure? Okay, we'll tell them. Should they buy or sell? All right, he says sell. This is fun, guys. You got an old actor. You got a person that's been in the industry for 50-some plus years. Thanks for the introduction today. Enough of you being in touch. I appreciate it. And I do have to run to take care of something. I sincerely apologize. I'll leave my screen run so you can watch it. I might not be able to go back and forth with you by voice. If I see something, I will. Leo will too. But really, sincerely appreciate the opportunity provided by Danny and Marlon to perhaps give you something that's a tool that's going to work. Sure, you want to make some bucks. Everybody does. But we care that you learn it. We'll make sure that you do learn it. Bear with me if we talk 4 or 5 times and you still don't learn it. Pick something else. But if we can teach you this stuff, I got a feeling it's going to work for you, at least by the number of emails and everything else that I'm getting from people. Just my way. I'm 50 years behind it. I got to go take care of a couple things. I thank you very much. I'm still here. I'll reply to what you guys